Hi YouTube, it's me Michael me, and this is a weird video because I don't usually make like spooky videos, but if you like go back to October of last year, you'll see that I made a video on haunted campgrounds, and I don't even remember all that it was about because I have a shit memory. Also, I'm sorry for the hair, I just woke up. So this story, I only feel comfortable saying, telling it during the day, particularly because, you know, it scared me so bad that whenever I think of it, I'm just gonna have, I'm just gonna have a freak out. So, this story is kind of a mess, and the reason behind that is because, you know, all this happened between the time of 11 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock in the morning. These events transpired, and you know, it basically scarred me for life. That was pretty dramatic, but you know, this one little event that happened made me never want to go upstairs in my grandfather's house again. So basically, here's what happened. I was spending the night at my grandfather's house, and some spooky shit kind of went down. So, this is gonna be a long video. It's a story. Basically, I decided for the first time ever, for some reason, to sleep upstairs in my grandfather's house. That is where my grandfather and my grandmother slept, because usually I slept downstairs in the same room as my brother. We have twin beds. He sleeps in one bed, I sleep in the other bed. And you know, it's in one bedroom, and we're both downstairs and we're chill, because neither of us like upstairs. But somebody told me, hey, let's try sleeping in the guest bedroom upstairs. Bad idea. Upstairs at my grandfather's house is particularly creepy because that is where my grandfather's parents both died. And I think in this particular guest bedroom is where my grandfather's mother died, but I'm not like a 100% on that. And no one has slept in that room since like the 50s. So when I went in there, you know, it's virtually the 50s style. You know, it had like flower sheets, and it had a cute little dresser that was all floral arranged. Everything was all flowers. The first creepy thing that I noted when I walked in there was the fact that the windows were right in front of the bed. There was a window here and a window here, and here's the bed. The blinds wouldn't close completely. The blinds came down to the bottom of the window, and there was a little gap. I'm sorry, I'm trying to... There was a little gap where you couldn't see outside, but people could see inside. And that scared the shit out of me when it first happened. So I used whatever pillows I had, and I covered the windows. Basically, I was already spooked out at this point, but I was right next to my grandmother's bedroom, so I'm like, okay, I'm okay. I did steal my grandmother's dog Bella, and basically I laid her down on the sheets, and I thought all I have to do was make it through the night with my dog. Of course, that didn't happen. At this point, it was around 11:30, and I was getting to sleep because I was awfully tired. And I woke up to scratching on my bedroom door. Basically, this happens a lot. My dog would basically just like scratch on the door, meaning she wants out. So I opened the door for her, she got out, and then I had to close the door again because I can't look into that creepy ass hallway because that will spook me out even more. So I let her out. She probably went to go run around, and I went back to sleep. In my dream, this is when the weird shit happens, because when I went back to sleep, I woke up in sort of a dreamish state. Like, I thought I was kind of awake, and like I sat up in the bed, and then all of a sudden I was in the living room, which was just right down the hall. I was the closest to the living room, and the living room is the spookiest part of the house, I will tell you that right now. And I was looking down onto a couch, and on this couch was this woman. This woman had a veil on. She was in kind of a wedding dress, but her face was very shrunken, and she was extremely skinny. It was almost like she was rotting away. So, ooh, I'm getting chills. So, basically, her arms were crossed like this. The veil was covering her face, although I could see her expression, kind of, like she almost looked worried. And her eyes were closed, and, you know, her arms were like this, you know, general dead person kind of a view. And, you know, I couldn't stop staring at her. I wasn't my own entity. I was like a camera zooming in on her or something like that. I can't explain. That's my father. He's angry because he... football. Basically, it was really spooky. Just like in general, I wasn't scared at this point. I was just watching it. And, you know, all of a sudden, from, like, the distance, I could hear mumbling. Like, blah, 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 blah. I can't explain it. But, basically, and it was a monotone voice, but it was a woman's voice. It was a woman's monotone voice. And it was, like, it was naming off names, like, Bobby Jeremiah, Jordan, Bobby Jeremiah, Jordan, 2016, 08, 09. And then, like, that's how it'd go. And, like, there'd be, like, a small ringing of a bell on occasion. And, you know, it'd continue, but it'd go, like, really fast-paced. Like, Bobby Jordan, 06, 09, Jeremiah Christian, I don't know, I can't, like, talk that fast, but it was really fast-paced. And, like, it was sort of like a staticky sound. I couldn't make out exactly what was going on. And then all of a sudden, everything stopped. My turtle jumped in and scared me. All of a sudden, everything stopped. And I heard very clearly in my ear, Michael Christian, born. Like, it was a lot slower. Michael Christian, born June 8th, 2009, died. It was just static. And then I heard a really loud ringing of a bell. And that is when I shot up in my bed, but I couldn't quite move. Okay, I was in the bed, and I shot up. I was in the up position like that, and I couldn't move. And then, like, I don't know what happened. I blacked out, and I woke up again, but I was in sleep paralysis. And I looked around the room, and I heard... I know what I woke up to. I woke up to growling. And the thing that was growling was my dog. Keep in mind, my dog is the sweetest thing. She barely ever makes noises. The only thing she'll bark at is at other dogs, and we're in the middle of nowhere. Keep in mind, this house is in the middle of literally nowhere. It's on a lake, and it's alone. Because our neighbors are never there, and, like, the neighbors are, like, really far away. And so she was growling at my door and scratching on it, which was way out of her, like, range, which is nothing she would ever do, because she never usually wants to come back into a bedroom after she's already left, especially not my bedroom, because when I was a kid I used to bully the dog. That's for a different time. I was not a nice kid. But she was scratching on my door and growling, and she started barking. And I was surprised at that point that, like, my grandmother or my grandfather didn't wake up. And so I was still in that state of sleep paralysis. And I swear to you, the blinds were, like, moving. And, like, the sheet things that, you know what I'm talking about, the things that cover the windows were, like, swaying. Now, that could have very well been the air conditioner, but it still scared the bejeebas out of me. And something fell out of the corner of my eye. I think it was like a picture frame or something, but it fell on the desk. And keep in mind, it's been up there for like 50 years, and it's never fallen over before from my knowledge. So it fell down, and that's when I broke out of my state of sleep paralysis. And I nearly screamed. I jumped out of bed, opened my door as quickly as I could. My dog ran in, started barking at something at the window, and I ran into my grandmother's room to go lay down with her because I was freaking out at that point. And at this point, like, when I first woke up, like, sat up in the bed, I know it was around 3 or 3:30 or something like that, because the clock was right next to me. and I know that for sure. But at this point, I opened my phone, and even though it just felt like a few seconds after, you know, the whole me sitting up in my bed and not being able to move, at this point, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was freaking out. I can't explain how badly I was freaking out. I laid down in my grandmother's bed, and I had to sit there for a moment, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I had a super bad nightmare, I just gotta chill with you. And my dog finally showed up. And when I woke up again, it was around 10 o'clock, and I was alone upstairs. My grandparents were already awake, and I kind of had to sit there for a moment. Usually my dog is downstairs with my grandparents, but my dog was actually up, sitting on the sheets, basically looking at the door. And she basically followed me as I went downstairs. And I'm telling you right now, that was the spookiest moment of my life. And, you know, every time I think about it, the whole voices, you know, I'm telling you right now, it was monotone voices being spoken over and over again. And it's like there was a date, there was a time, and on some occasion there was a bell. So my name was spoken, my birthday was spoken, and there was some staticky sound after my birthday, and then a bell rung, very, very clearly. And it scared the shit out of me. And now I can't go upstairs in that house by myself anymore, because it scared me so bad. So, basically that's kind of what happened. And, you know, I'm a little spooked right now, and I don't, woo. So, I'm sorry this was such a long video, but I kind of had to get that out there because, you know, it spooked the shit out of me. And, so that was a spooky video for this year, I guess. If I come across any more spooky experiences, I'll tell you. And also, I think I said spooky in this video more than I have in the past couple years. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I scared myself talking about this video. If you watched all the way through, thank you. I'm gonna go hang out with my dad. Okay, see you later. Bye.